Welcome, SENS Talk.
He scores! He bats it in! Tim Stutzler wins it for Ottawa! Triple Grant is going to put the finishing touches on an Ottawa win! See you later. Go Sens, go!
Sens win 2-0 over the New York Islanders. My goodness, the Merilinsanity run continues. Leevi Meriläinen, take a bow. Take a bow. My goodness. We're going to get into it. Is this the Hamburglar run 2.0? It might be. Merilinsanity, what a run. What a moment for Leevi Meriläinen, the Ottawa Senator goaltending prospect. Literally putting up record numbers and putting up numbers with, I don't know, someone a little famous around here in Ottawa. The Hamburglar, Andrew Hammond. Remember that guy? Remember what happened when he was in net for your Ottawa Senators when he started out his NHL career? Well, let's just say, hint, hint, there are some parallels going on right now. We'll get into that in the game notes. But a massive victory tonight, 2-0 over the New York Islanders. Let's break it down. So going into this game, Ottawa was looking to win 3 in a row. As we all know, the Ottawa Senators either lose 4, 5, 6 in a row or win 4, 5, 6 in a row. So it only makes sense they're looking to keep that winning streak going, and they did, of course. But it's not going to be easy. We're playing against Marcus Hogberg. Now, Marcus Hogberg is a former Ottawa Senator goaltender, as you all know. And, of course, this year with the New York Islanders, he was the third goaltender, but they're dealing with some goaltending issues right now. Varlamov is hurt, Sorokin's sick. So he starts in 4 games this year in the National Hockey League, .950 save percentage, 1.56 goals against average, of course. So he's obviously good at goalie, your Ottawa Senators. But, over the last 5 seasons, and I just want to get to this because, hold on. Bring back the danger foods. Come on. Man, Hell's Bells, or whatever the hell it's called, literally is fine, I guess, but Danger Flutes, that's got a special place in my heart. But anyways, back to the stat. Over the last 5 seasons, the Ottawa Senators against former goaltenders, and shout out to SENS Talk statistician Trent Raynard for this fact, 14-9-2 against former goaltenders are your Ottawa Senators. The goaltenders in those games have put up a .916 save percentage. Keep in mind, save percentage right now, the average in the National Hockey League is .901, so easy to say that's way above average. And then 2.64 goals against average. So those numbers obviously predict an Ottawa Senator loss tonight. However, Ottawa is 2-0-1 against former goaltenders this year. So, you know what? Let's break that trend with losses and keep that trend going with wins this year. For some reason, everything that used to go against Ottawa Senators is kind of going away this year. And that kind of shows that this team is much better than they were in the past because good teams always find ways to win. Now, Leevi Meriläinen, look at your screen right now. He's had a great stretch as of late, looking to continue and build off of that going to this one. Started back-to-back on the weekend, got 4 out of 4 points, including a shutout. Stopped 53 at 55 as well on the weekend, looking to keep that going in tonight's matchup against the Islanders. An Islanders team who are not only struggling, they haven't scored a power play goal since the last time they played Ottawa, which was nearly a month ago, if not actually over a month ago at this point, which, I mean, that's insane. So they're struggling for sure. So Ottawa needs that win, not only because, again, they've lost to the Islanders, they've lost to Buffalo, they've lost like 3 games to these bottom-feeding teams. No offense if you're an Islander fan, but they're below us in the standings. So these are the games Ottawa has to win. We already lost these games to them before. We can't do it again with how thin the margins are in the playoff race. By the way, Columbus won today. Detroit lost. A couple other teams lost. So Pittsburgh. We potentially were in a playoff spot, but Boston held on for a victory over Tampa Bay. Damn you, Braden Point. Should have just went to the team meeting. But anyways, so the good news is with the victory today, Ottawa, let's just say, we'll leave that for the end, but let's just say our fate is very much still in our hands. So let's get into the game, because you're probably wondering, Brandon, well, we want to know about the playoffs. Yes, of course you do. But to understand why the playoff race is as it is right now, you have to understand what happened in this game. And that's my bad for jumping the gun a little too early. So let's get into the first period of play. And 2 minutes in, Ottawa looks to be hopping and jumping around with joy as Adam Gaudette, the hockey god, breaks a crazy goal slump, snaps a 16-game goalless drought. The break opened with the goal for the Ottawa Senators to make it 1-0 just a couple minutes in. However, Patrick Waugh, the head coach and legend, of course, of the NHL, of course, of the Habs and the Avs, challenge for goaltender interference. Now, look, I know goaltender interference is probably one of the tougher calls to judge and make in the National Hockey League, but the call on the ice was a goal. So right off the bat, conclusive evidence has to be shown to call off the goal. Well, they called off the goal. I completely disagree with the call. Obviously, I'm a little biased. If you couldn't tell, I might be rooting for the team in red, but I don't think it takes somebody that's cheering for this team to realize that probably should have been a goal. The justification that the NHL put out basically said that, Adam Gaudette didn't try to get out of the way, but as you just saw on your screen, what's he supposed to do? He got pushed in by Dobson. He had a second to decide. And what's going to happen if he goes left to right? He's going to smash into the posts. We saw what happened with Schaefer when that happened to him at the World Juniors. That's a real tough injury. That's not something he wants to do. It's also a split-second decision. How is he supposed to make that call? And most of all, let's say he tried to stop. He risks getting the skates potentially in the face or in the body of Hogberg, or even snow showering the goaltender, which of course is sacrilege. You can't, do a snow shower towards, a goaltender. So what's he supposed to do? And again, split-second decision, horrible call. Luckily, it didn't matter. And let's just say the hockey gods, love how this works, would, make some justice out of that, because we go to the second period of play, and it's Shane Pinto, the Long Island boy. The arena, UBS Arena, is literally just a few kilometers away from where he was born. So Pinto, you knew, was going to get on the scoreboard today, and he does. Along the boards, feeds the Clev bomb, Tyler Clevin, who, by the way, stepped up big time. Tom Chabot got hurt, got a puck to the face, did not return due to precautionary reasons. Hopefully, he is okay. As the time of recording this video, Travis Green, the head coach of the Ottawa Senators, still has not put out an update, so we'll see. But since it was precautionary, I'm hoping he just needs some dental work and he should be okay. But that's just me speculating. We'll see what happens in the next day or so. But Clevin really stepped up big time in this game. He looked great. And, I just have to give, the Clev Dog a shout out. He's had a great year. His first full season looks like a seasoned pro. So strong defensively, and the offense is really starting to come because Tyler Clevin from the point takes a shot, and it's the hockey god. Puck don't lie. 1-0 Senators. Adam Gaudette, the hockey god, tips it out front, and the Ottawa Senators, this time, no doubt about it, have taken the lead. It's 1-0 Ottawa. And oh my goodness, puck don't lie. The hockey gods certainly are funny in the way they operate. It's Ottawa after 40 minutes of play. Really not much going on in this game. I'm going to be very honest with you. Lead by a goal. It's 1-0 going to the third period of play. And by the way, when Ottawa leads going to the third, they are 17-1-1. Pretty good. Can't lie with you. So we go to the third period of play. And by the way, in the second period, just to give some context, the Islanders literally had stretches where they didn't shoot a puck for like 8 minutes, and then between those stretches, they had like maybe a shot or two. This is kind of the game we were dealing with. The Islanders are notorious for snooze fest games, and we got it again today, to be honest with you. But in the third period of play, they really stepped up and really started pushing. I mean, shout out to Leevi Meriläinen. We're going to give him his praise in a few minutes here, but the Islanders really stepped up their offensive push. Now, while Ottawa did, outshoot the Islanders by nearly double, 15-8 in the third period, most of those were perimeter shots. A few of those, sure, really good opportunities and close. Hogberg had to make a couple of really big stops, to be honest. But Leevi Meriläinen, on 8 of those chances, I would say a few of those at the minimum were high danger chances. I mean, he looked really good, locked in. And, with Leevi Meriläinen, it's like watching a veteran out there. It's unbelievable how confident I am in this goaltender. I've never been so confident in a rookie goaltender that hasn't even started 10 games in the National Hockey League. That's how good this goaltender is. And if I'm feeling that, imagine how the guys on the ice are feeling with Leevi Meriläinen in net. They must feel so calm, so secure, and it shows in their play. Just compare the way they play, especially in their own zone and just in general, compared to when Anton Forsberg's in it. Now, I'm not trying to knock the guy down here, but, his save percentage is like nearly 20 points below league average, if not exactly 20 points below league average at 881. That's not good. The boys obviously feel that. That's why in those games, there are more defensive breakdowns. Now, sure, obviously good goaltending will kind of erase those defensive breakdowns, but other than in that Dallas game on Sunday, Meriläinen sure has had to face some tough shots and has definitely had to make some tough saves, but there hasn't been the obscene amount of breakdowns as we saw with Anton Forsberg in that, for example. So it really makes you wonder why that is the case. Could just be a coincidence. Could also just really be a confidence thing. You saw it with Craig Anderson when he was in net here in Ottawa, and you certainly saw it when Linus Ullmark was in net. When you have a strong, confident goalie in net, the team builds off that and feeds off that. So we go to the third period of play. Ottawa, 17 out of 19 games when leading, has a win, and that would continue. Leevi Meriläinen does his thing. The Merilinsanity run continues as Artem Zub, with about a couple minutes left in the third period of play, with a bomb into the empty net. Absolutely love this from Artem Zub, who, by the way, we're going to talk about him in the game notes, but led the team in blocks with 7 today, so he was sore, no doubt. He was probably angry, wanted to shoot that puck as hard as he could into the empty net. Gets rewarded with an empty net goal. Love this play here from Zub, because he's literally like slamming the ice with his stick. He wants that puck, gets the puck, and seals the deal as our Ottawa Senators win 2-0 over the New York Islanders. That is 3 victories in a row, and Leevi Meriläinen in 2 of the last 3 games has a shutout. He joins Andrew Hammond, the Hamburglar. The Hamburglar, ladies and gentlemen. It's the only Ottawa Senator to record 2 shutouts in his first 10 career NHL games. Got to give him a round of applause. That is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Leevi Meriläinen, I mean, in his 6 starts, he's 5-1-0, a .931 save percentage, a 1.83 goals against average. Leevi Merilinsanity, have yourself a day, a week, a month. My goodness, you are so, so good, and you are keeping the Ottawa Senators not only afloat, but again, in a position to control their own fate. Only a point out of a playoff spot right now, with the tiebreaker over Columbus, Boston, and a couple other teams, and more so with games in hand, which is the most important thing. Win those games, and you're in a playoff spot by a few points. So good on Leevi Meriläinen to help this team out. But also, you know what? The team played fantastic. Shout out to the Ottawa Senator penalty kill, who again took care of business. Now look, the Islanders, as I kind of mentioned already, have not scored a power play goal in over a month. So maybe it was an easy test. But still, in the last 4 games, 14 for 15. That's pretty good. Doesn't matter who you're facing. These are still NHL teams. So kudos where kudos, needs to be given to the Senator penalty kill, which I've been critical of because, again, that diamond formation is, it leaves a lot to be desired, but clearly it's working right now, and we love to see that. Now, Jake Sanderson, just under 32 minutes tonight, stepped up big time in the absence of Tom Chabot as the one defenseman. The 1D, like the top guy. Just want to clarify, I know how that sounded for a sec. He had 4 blocks today, so a good game there for Jake Sanderson with a hit as well. Artem Zub, like I already mentioned, 7 blocks today. What a absolute pro's pro, a legend Artem Zub is. And of course, with the empty net goal as well. Now, Ottawa, of course, 3 wins in a row, 6 road shutouts already this year. Ties a franchise high. 3 different goaltenders put up those shutouts. Of course, Ullmark, Forsberg, and now, of course, twice Leevi Meriläinen. So that's absolutely insane. He had 23 saves tonight. In his last 3 games, Leevi Meriläinen has stopped 76 of 78. I mean, that is absolutely insane. I mean, actually absurd for a rookie goaltender. So let's see if that can continue going to the next one. Obviously, Leevi Meriläinen's going to start that one too. I cannot see a world where Ottawa does not start him on Thursday. So let's see what happens. But with that, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. As always, a massive victory for your Ottawa Senators. As again, we're just getting closer and closer and closer to really getting into a firm playoff spot. Again, with those games in hand, I'm feeling really good right now. But most of all, the Merilinsanity run continues. My goodness. When you're putting up numbers that are good enough to be brought into the same conversation and are tying records that the Hamburglar Andrew Hammond put up in probably the craziest run in NHL history, it's a pretty good sign of what's to come. So with that, thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Go Sens, go.